Welcome to Mid-Bore Outdoors. In this video, I'm going to do a couple things to this Ruger Alaskan Bush Rifle here in 35 Whelen to hopefully fix some of the problems that I've had with it. First, I'm just going to take the bolt apart, disassemble it, clean all the factory lube that's in there, and then put it back together and see if that can potentially fix my light primer strikes. I know I've had a comment from a couple guys saying that that's the reason I'm having these light primer strikes, so I'm going to do that first. I know also that Morris with Alaska Arms recommends doing that to these M77 rifles, so I'm going to do that before I do anything else for shooting it and see if that can help with the light primer strikes. Second, I'll be replacing this rear sight on this rifle with a taller rear sight to bring my point of impact up. Stick around and I'll show you how it goes. Alright, so I got the bolt out. I'm just going to take this little Allen wrench and put it in this hole right here. And I'm going to turn it clockwise, and then I'm going to stick the Allen wrench up in just a little bit further, and then I can thread it out backwards. And there's a decent amount of lube up here on these top threads, but doesn't look like too much on the spring here. And then surprisingly pretty dry in there, so yeah, I doubt you'll be able to see that, but anyways, I'm going to use some ballistol here. And I'll just push a little paper towel piece down in there and see if I can clean up just a little bit more. So I cleaned off the majority of the oil, which was right here, and then I poured a little bit on the spring here and wiped it all down on the firing pin. It was dry in here. I shoved a little paper towel in there, but I'm not too worried about that. So anyways, I'm just gonna screw it back in together. Pull this Allen wrench, and there we go. I just received a new rear sight for this rifle, so hopefully it can bring my point of impact up. It was kind of a hassle to get this sight here. I ended up calling Ruger 6 times, and finally on the 6th time I ended up talking with a representative who was actually helpful and knew what they were doing there. I can't say the same for everyone else. In the meantime of calling them that many times, I contacted Skinner Sights, and unfortunately they don't make sights for the Ruger M77s, but the guy there was extremely helpful and totally willing to crunch the numbers on the difference in height that I'll need for a sight in this gun to bring my point of impact up. So from the numbers that he did, he calculated that I'll need a 90,000th of an inch taller rear sight or shorter front sight. The tallest that Ruger had was 60 thousandths taller than the current one. So I'm going to put this on. We'll see if it brings my point of impact up enough. If not, I have also contacted New England Custom Guns, and they said that they can make a shorter front sight for me. So if I have to go that route, I will, but I was hoping that for free I could get this gun working the way it should. This low point of impact has been a common issue with this Ruger Alaskan Bush Rifle. Go check out Just Another Guy Adventures on YouTube. He's got the 9.3x62 version, and his is also hitting low. He contacted Ruger a couple times about it, and they said that he needed to send his gun in to get it fixed, and just kind of extreme for, you know, just being able to send a new sight. So finally, after him contacting them several times and me and him messaging back and forth, he was able to get a hold of someone who was willing to send him a taller rear sight. So hopefully that works out for him and we can get our guns hitting where they're supposed to hit. All right, so I'm just gonna unscrew this front flathead, and it was snug. I couldn't find any torque specs, so I guess snug is good. And then the rear is a Allen wrench, and got that loose. So now I should be able to just slide this out. Yep. And I'll get a picture of these side by side to show you the height difference. All right, and I'm just gonna slide this back in here, center it up as best as I can, and torque these down. Like I say, I'm just gonna get them snug, good and snug, and centered up. All right, and we'll see how that goes. I've gotten a couple comments on I'm not using these sights correctly. These dangerous game sights that Ruger has on this gun, there is a picture in the manual that I'll put up. And as you can see, it shows to hold at 6 o'clock and have the dot at the bottom of the shallow V dotting this eye. And that's what I've been doing, and that's kind of the most intuitive way to do it too, for picking up quick and shooting what you're aiming at. So that's how I'll be shooting it. And if for some reason this doesn't work, I could potentially slide a beer can shim under there or something, but I think most likely I'll just end up contacting New England Custom Guns and get a shorter front sight. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it brings the point of impact up enough to where I'm hitting right where I want. I've got another video coming out tomorrow. I'm going to be testing the accuracy of this rifle with a scope on it out to 100 yards.